Who's the most dangerous sexual predator on the cell block?
Oh, did you just call me bitch?
Yeah, I said it.
It does.
Who's the bitch now, bitch?
What the fuck just happened?
Stan Minton, a prosperous real estate agent in Los Angeles, leads what seems to be a perfect life. He's extremely wealthy and deeply in love with his beautiful wife, Mindy. However, beneath the surface, Stan's business practices are far from ideal. He relies on fraudulent tactics to scam his clients out of small amounts of money over time. Eventually, his dishonest methods catch up with him, and he is arrested for first-degree fraud. Once convicted, Stan learns that he faces a mandatory prison sentence of at least 3 years. In a desperate bid to avoid jail time, he begs his lawyer to bribe the judge. Despite their attempts, the best deal they can secure is a 6-month delay before Stan must report to prison. To give the bribe a veneer of legitimacy, they stage a fake charity event, but the guilty verdict still stands, and Stan must face the consequences. After the trial, Stan's lawyer advises him to flee to Brazil, but with his assets frozen, he's unable to leave the country. With no choice but to wait for his sentence, Stan becomes increasingly anxious and regretful, dreading his upcoming imprisonment. As his fears grow, he tries to make the most of his remaining freedom. One evening, during a date with Mindy, she suggests that they have a child so she won't feel lonely while he's incarcerated. Stan rejects the idea, fearing that if something were to happen to him in prison, they might be forced to give the child up for adoption. This causes tension between them, and Mindy storms off, leaving Stan feeling guilty and lost. Distraught, he goes for a drive and ends up at a bar. While there, he spots a man with a prison tattoo and offers him $1,000 for advice on surviving in prison. The man paints a grim picture, warning Stan that, as an outsider with wealth, he will likely be targeted for sexual assault. He advises Stan to join a gang, but since Stan doesn't fit into any category, the man suggests that Stan kill someone early on to protect himself. Horrified, Stan realizes that his worst fears about prison might be true. The next morning, Stan wakes up hungover, realizing the conversation wasn't a nightmare. Mindy reminds him that he's still going to prison, but she tries to lift his spirits by saying he always finds a way to overcome obstacles. Inspired, Stan decides to transform himself into an alpha male over the next 6 months. He throws himself into a rigorous training routine, exercising daily, getting a tattoo on his rear to deter predators, and even joining a karate class to learn self-defense. However, his impatience with the basics leads to a fight with another student, and as a result, he's kicked out of the dojo. At his lowest point, Stan meets a quirky old man known as the Master, who impresses him by punching a hole through a wall. Seeing him as his last hope, Stan invites the Master to move in with him and Mindy to train him in self-defense. Much to Mindy's annoyance, the eccentric old man agrees and starts an unconventional training program. The Master's methods are bizarre and harsh. He wakes Stan up at 5 a.m. by pouring animal liver blood on his face and demands that Mindy prepare smoothies made of ox pancreas and horse tongues for Stan's breakfast. The training becomes more painful and bizarre over time. The Master strikes Stan with flaming sticks, suspends him by his skin, and forces him to eat scorpions and snakes. Mindy grows increasingly frustrated with the Master's eccentric habits, particularly his smoking and strange demands. Eventually, she gives Stan an ultimatum: either the Master leaves, or she does. Trying to make Mindy understand his fear of prison, Stan stages a fake robbery, but when she finds out it's staged, she storms out in anger, telling Stan she can't stay with him anymore. The Master, however, is pleased with her departure, believing it will allow Stan to focus entirely on his training. For the next 5 months, Stan endures intense training and surprises the Master with his ability to hold his own in combat. As a final test, Stan returns to the karate dojo where he was expelled and easily defeats the instructor, proving that his transformation is complete. Feeling ready for prison, Stan prepares himself for his sentencing. On the day of the trial, the Master and Stan's lawyer drop him off at court, while Mindy watches from her car. After sentencing, Stan is transported to prison, where he faces a new reality. During the bus ride, another inmate tries to touch him inappropriately, but Stan quickly fights back, showcasing his newfound strength. Upon arrival, the inmates are greeted by Warden Gask, who tells them not to cause trouble for the guards but makes it clear that inmates are free to do as they wish to one another. Stan experiences the brutal reality of prison life during a cavity check, where the guards are horrified by his modified behind, designed to deter predators. Stan is assigned a cell and meets his roommate, Larry, who explains the various prison gangs, the Black Gang, Mexican thugs, Nazis, racists, and even a group of intellectuals who intimidate others with endless speeches. Larry warns Stan about Big Raymond, the most dangerous predator in the block. Determined to make a statement, Stan confronts Big Raymond in front of the entire prison and defeats him using the self-defense techniques he's learned. This victory catches the attention of Patterson, the Nazi leader, who invites Stan to join their group.